Hello, Barbara. Barbara
Hi.
Inmann in Vienna. You are at ImpactHub Vienna. You are the managing director of ImpactHub Vienna. For those who don't know, I don't think there are many, but ImpactHub is one of the biggest network of co-working space, independent co-working spaces nowadays. It's global. You have how many locations are there now in the ImpactHub network?
Around 100.
Around 100. So we will have you at the Coworking Europe conference in November, where we will have an overview of what ImpactHub has done and achieved on all those years, because it's a fascinating story. But let's speak more about now the current time. We had a short discussion prior to this interview and podcast, and you were telling me that you were considering to change the way your event room was managed. And can you tell us a little bit about how far is the reflection about that at your level, and maybe discuss further about how you envision the next months?
Yeah. So what we saw in the last weeks, obviously partly we were shut down, but now Austria is lucky to be opened again. Still, this whole Corona times brought a lot of unwished for digitalization, I would say, or accelerated the whole topic of going digital and working digital. And through that, we realize as well that there will be less events happening, or the events will be differently happening. So more blended versions that are online and offline. And if you ask now about the event and meeting rooms, we really try to set them up in a more techy way. So to have a proper video conference setup, to have a streaming opportunity. And we work with one of the members that we have at ImpactHub Vienna, because they are a streaming and video conference agency, and they help us set up the rooms so that we really have a setup that works in both ways, even if there is a next shutdown, because we realized a lot of people don't have the facilities to really do good quality conferences or video conferences.
That's perfect. You had the skills in-house now, and
that's actually, we are lucky, I have to say, but it has the fun part of working with artists, because they come more from the film industry, so it's an interesting combo.
Yeah, it will be more than video conferences. Actually, you can shoot a full movie, maybe.
Yeah. Or they really make movies as well, and they are actually now installing a camera that is then connected to their laptops, where they can cut already while we are shooting. So it's an interesting setup.
So, but what about the staff that is needed and required to manage it? Because renting out a room, meeting room, an event room, take care about the coffee and the sandwiches. Okay, it's pretty low tech, let's say. So, but once we start to become like running studios, video conference studio, how do you envision that part? Because obviously we are not, few of us are technicians. Is it just we bet on the fact that we will learn very fast, or how do you see that?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I said before, we should have hired techies in the past already. I mean, in this case, we are lucky because we actually set up a sharing model where we share the profits with this company, because we don't have the resources in-house, and we are unfortunately not able to cut videos and do perfect professional video conferencing. And the other thing is, I think we need to learn fast as well to set up. I mean, we talked about that before as well, set up conference online and workshops online, because the Hub network is not only a co-working space, but we do a lot of workshops around social entrepreneurship. We are an accelerator as well for entrepreneurship. And we had to learn very quickly how to put everything that we do in a way online as well.
Yeah.
But I see us more as the facilitator and only partly as the tech expert, because I think for tech there are a lot of agencies out there that do a great job in supporting it.
So already are they also to work with you to some extent? Because do they need that kind of facility, or to be hosted, or just because now there is such high demand for more video and video conferencing that yes, definitely that's where it comes.
I mean, I think for them, the advantage is that they have the rooms available. So they don't need to go somewhere outside. They don't need to book something else. And they have the rooms available as well to shoot for their other clients.
Yeah.
And they have a setup that can work. So if the camera is already installed, it's mounted to the wall, it's really set up, then they don't need to set it up all the time. So I think it's a good win-win if you find something like that.
And who sells it? Is it ImpactHub Vienna or is it the agency?
The plan is that we sell it, but they will as well sell and bring clients in through their networks in a way.
Okay. So overall, how are things going now? Because Austria is reopening, so it has been a little bit faster in Austria than in some other European countries.
Yeah.
How are things now? How do you think? Are people coming back? Or you had to...
So from the co-work, I mean, now we talked about bookings, but from the bookings is still not fully open, I have to say. We still can only meet in maximum 10 people. And there is, from June on, we can meet up to 100 people, but everybody needs to be seated and have 1 meter distance. So you need to have a very big room to fit this. So it's still slow, I would say. And most what we have is podcasts, video conferences, and groups of like 2-3 people that meet. So they are coming, but in this mini capacity, I would say. And from the co-working side, we actually see people coming back, but the demand is at the moment higher for closed rooms like offices or fixed working desks. And this is something I heard from a lot of co-working spaces. Whereas this classic co-working of coming in and out and sitting where I want to sit is a bit lower and as well slower in coming back. So the fixed desk offices, most of them are back actually and work from the hub again. The co-working, some are coming back and every week it's getting a bit more, but it's still not fully back on track.
Yeah. Do you expect, so ImpactHub, of course, is this social entrepreneurship mission, that there is a huge community globally. Do you see that the business model and the way you operate, do you see that to change in the coming weeks after the crisis? And in what way, if you think so?
I mean, the good thing about our business model is that we have different pillars. So we have the space pillar with co-working and as well bookings, but we have as well have the acceleration and social entrepreneurship pillar, and with these different income sources. I think in general the world is changing, so I think we are changing as well with it, kind of. What we realized in talks we had is that the topics of getting greener and getting more social and inclusivity are even more in the communications, and as well getting more relevant on a policy level. So in this regard, it's very interesting that there is a potential for the ImpactHub network to even come into different conversations with different people at different level. And we are right now thinking as well about programs about restarting or rebooting and supporting the social entrepreneurs in Austria and as well globally, because many of them are hit quite badly because they're small businesses, they're just starting up, they don't have financial reserves, you name it, but they will be very relevant for the future if we want to build it slightly different than what we have now. So more sustainable, more just, more inclusive. So we are trying to get more on a policy and rethinking the systems, and there is openness for that. That would mean for our business model doing more programs with partners, potentially on a policy and political level.
So it means more service to some extent. Is it like this?
The service that we currently have, but extended in a way, and with potentially more important players as well.
Okay, so but as you said, it was a way you were already engaged on, or is it? So the common view of what is happening now is that the crisis just speeded up something which was a transformation which was already in the making. Do you agree with that, or is it?
On the one hand, it accelerated that we talk about it. On the other hand, it hit the sector quite dramatically because of being small businesses. So I think it needs both. both. It needs the support that these companies survive, which is a completely new field because we didn't focus on that before. And it needs the acceleration that these solutions are getting more spread. And I think this is where we change our view a bit. So it's not only about supporting the social entrepreneur to grow, but as well connecting the social entrepreneur to politics, to corporates, to NGOs, that innovation gets spread around.
Yeah. Okay. As you are this huge network, what is the perception and the signal you get from your other impacted members? Do you see a big difference between the countries you are in or the continents?
It's very, very, very mixed, because we have ImpactHubs as well in Venezuela or Brazil or some of the African countries. So, and obviously, I have to say we in Austria are very lucky because we have government measures that support us. We have proper health systems. There's no real issue. Whereas in other countries, there is zero support from the government. There's as well a lot of fear because money is just not coming in. Clients don't have money. So there's a different setup. And we actually having currently a very close-knit network globally as well, where we have calls every week to see how we can support each other. And as well, how we can rethink businesses, especially the space business, and what we can offer together and learn from each other. And on the other hand, how we can influence as well policy globally, and how we can support country to country kind of as well. So in this way, the network really helps, because it, or as well, the crisis got us much closer together.
And do you see some tips or some measures that are coming up, or some more popular ones than some others in the different spaces? Or everybody addresses a little bit the same way? And is there something you notice that is maybe unexpected and might be a standard for the future of all those spaces?
Unexpected, I don't know, but I think this whole topic of tech equipment and digitalization is a big one. So as well of having online networks, online connection tools, online curation of a community, all these things are they are really accelerated. I wouldn't say it's unexpected, but I think it would have taken much longer.
Okay.
If we wouldn't have had this crisis, no? So we are as well working on tools in that direction. And I think there is a rethinking of, should it be only space business? So what can be add-ons to a space? If the space doesn't work, that you at least have a fallback options, and how can you combine them? And this could be acceleration programs. This could be as well innovation consulting. Like I see it with different co-working spaces, they have different angles on it. This could be corporate partnerships that want to connect to innovation, etc. So that you, as a co-working space, always have a kind of second pillar that you can rely on. And I think a lot of people are rethinking this second pillar on trying to focus more on it.
Could we, that's an idea which is not so new either, but could we see that the co-working experience become also virtual in the way that we will be as co-working space much more running platform online? So of course we have the Facebook page and we have the Slack channels and all those things, but it's more self-run most of the time. But tomorrow, if indeed we are a platform managing plugins, like the way we have people in different rooms, and that we facilitate the connection between them and give them visibility to the outside, is it a way you expect also to come?
Yeah, that's what I meant with this community curation. So I really believe in a way the whole society will get more blended, and I see it with myself. So I always worked from a co-working space, and now I work, even though everything is open again, I work half at home and half from the co-working space, because I got used to it and it works, and I can have meetings online, blah, blah. So I think this blended system of working or learning will get more and more, and with that we need to have basically similar to conferences that are now happening online and look like real conferences. We need to have a system that creates the co-working space online as well, where you can check in, you know who is there, you can maybe go for coffee with one person online, and it's possible. Like in the times of lockdown, we had hosted coffee sessions, we had hosted lunch sessions with the community. Exactly, and we could, the beauty of it is we could even extend it to the global network. So there were sessions hosted for everyone, and then people met that would normally not meet because they're not at the same space, and that gives an opportunity as well.
Yeah, it likely was possible because they were member of this ImpactHub network and community.
Exactly.
That's between people from different spaces. Yeah, it could have happened. Depends of how good the community manager is, likely. But here, that's what the value of this community that you have.
That's the value of the network in a way.
Yes,
we as well started monthly live sessions for all our global members where we invite super high-level speakers to talk about one topic. So that's why I said it accelerated ideas that we had before. But I think this hosting of a community or a group or co-working space online will be a very relevant topic in the future.
Awesome. It's fascinating. I think we would like to hear more about it in the coming months and see how it coagulated together and to create this new experience.
It will be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Barbara, for sharing your thoughts with us. And see you in Vienna anyway for the Coworking conference.
Looking forward to November.
Cheers. Bye. Thank you.
Yes, bye.